Hello and welcome to Fables and Fairies. I'm the fairy, we tell fables. It's usually a good time. Lately, not so much. Lately, the party's been having a bad time of it, but we'll get back to that later.
Still a good time.
Yeah, a good time in some ways and a sketchy time in others. But as usual, right, as usual, we have a couple of announcements before we get started. Due to technical limitations and scheduling limitations, we are pre-recorded. We're speaking to you from the past. But unfortunately, the transdimensional chat does not work. So those of us here on the screen do not see what is being said in chat. But I always hang around during the shows, and sometimes some of the players do as well. So I will see what's happening. And speaking of chat, this is a loving queer community, no sort of nonsense, racism, transphobia, sexism, etc. None of that nasty will be tolerated here. And if you go awry of that, Nightbot or myself will have a word with you. And general Twitch rules that you all know and love, English only in chat, no excessive symbols or outside links, and once again, Nightbot will have a word with you if there is a problem in that regard. And speaking of chat, we love the live viewers. We love to see you. It's great. If you're watching this on VOD, thank you so much. Throw a follow down on Twitch. And if you're on YouTube watching this, where we upload it usually on Saturdays. Sundays. Sundays is the goal now. We love to have you there. Pop down and throw a subscribe on YouTube so that you know when new episodes arrive. And I do believe that about covers things. Anyone else have announcements for the open floor?
I don't have anything.
Nothing on my end.
All right. Well.
God, we're boring.
Then, without further ado, we shall dive back in to most likely the conclusion of our current adventure, The Book of the Raven, written by Chris Perkins. Check it out, Candlekeep. You know by now what we're doing. It's the hardcover with my own fun tweaks. And previously, our party has been tasked to solve the problem of The Book of the Raven, which every decade goes a little bonkers, and the scholars of Candlekeep have really just gotten sick of it. So you have been sent to the annex currently located in Mirabar to investigate the Lurkwood, and in particular the Chalet Brantifax at its northern extremes that seems to feature and be of relevance to this Book of the Raven. Traveling through the forest and coming to the chalet, you found it expectantly quite haunted, and having a number of unsettling circumstances, learning the untimely deaths and grisly elements of the Brantifax family with their two daughters that died in childhood, the Baron himself dying, and the family dog dying. Lots of death. Baroness Sarisa got the hell out of there and saved her own neck, so to speak. But we left off with the party having learned of the current inhabitants, a seemingly group of ravens, shape changers of some sort, that, as a matter of convenience, make their base of operations out of the chalet and have an understanding with Sylvine, the ghost that of the younger daughter, who still remains and presides over the manor. You were given as much information as was possible, or as these individuals were comfortable parting with, and you headed upstairs to the attic bedrooms where you were told that this spirit could be found. You opened the door, finding the expected bedchamber, and there you see, back turned, small hooded figure in this child's bedroom that says, "I'd like my dolly back, please." And that is where we will pick up.
As memory serves, Selva had the doll, did she not?
She did.
That's a problem.
And actually, to that point, I should have included that in the announcements. As you might be able to tell by the black box, we are unfortunately missing Hannah today. She has travel plans. and we just couldn't make it work in the schedule, so we will be maybe without a Selva, but rather pertinent to that, we will change screens and pop over to show the current circumstances that the party finds themselves in. And as this creature before you requests the return of its dolly, there is sort of a flash, and you hear from behind you, "Wouldn't you like to play with us?" And you all turn, and you see Selva holding the doll, its button eyes glowing white, and her eyes glowing white as her head is just cocked to the side.
Oh no.
I'm having a difficult RP moment trying to decide what my character would do here.
And
I think you would draw your sword. I think that's generally been your approach to spooky bullshit is draw your sword.
And to that end, I think what your character actually will be doing is rolling those D12 initiatives right now.
I was going to say, I think that's probably the right move.
Initiative.
Ugh, I hate this dice set. I need to change it.
Yeah.
So that will be an 8 for me.
Okay, 8 for a tally. 12 for Azure. A 5 for Zokar.
Welcome back, Hannah. We're so excited you're back. Oh, I may have killed your character.
Where are we at for Baratsu? Oh, there it is, higher up, 14. And actually, that reminds me, I should roll for Selva. Hey.
I hope she fries my ass.
All right, and so we start off with Baratsune.
Okay. Well, I have just observed my dear friend and traveling companion become possessed. And I don't like it. So what I want to do, I want to just make sure I understand how this spell works. Okay. I am going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on Selva.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess that's actually a wisdom save, so I don't know why I rolled. Oh, I guess it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. No worries. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. Ooh, interesting. All right. It is. Oh, interesting. Okay. It fails.
Okay, so Selva starts laughing maniacally, which definitely doesn't help this creepy vibe we've got going on, but that should incapacitate her for however long the rest of this takes.
Does your magic have a visible, component or effect?
Oh yeah, there's verbal somatic material. Like I bust out my rod and wizard staff and say some bullshit and clearly make eye contact with Selva here. It's pretty obvious what's happened, I hope.
Okay. But we've got possessed doll white eyes. Like does your magic do anything to her that anyway, never mind.
All right. Yeah. Now mechanically I'm trying to refresh my memory on Tasha's Hideous Laughter. They are incapacitated, correct?
Yeah, she actually falls prone and is unable to stand up for the duration.
Gotcha. And also incapacitated or just prone?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Becoming incapacitated, unable to stand up. Each of its turns, or if it takes damage, it can make another wisdom saving throw.
So, an interesting thing happens as you watch Selva's body go limp like a puppet on strings, but she doesn't fall. It's almost like, the sort of central string is still holding her up, and she's just like dead weight, almost like hanging from the doll.
Great.
Okay.
Anything else for Baratsune's turn?
I think that's all I can do. I am displeased to be standing next to her, but I've learned my lesson on trying to walk away. So that's it.
Okay, fair enough. Then that takes us to the little girl's turn. And she gonna do? She's just gonna turn around and just pull back her face. And you just see this twisted, almost shattered porcelain doll face with just like horrible wrenching disfigurement inside as the face cracks open. And I need for you all to make wisdom saves.
I don't like that at all.
And unfortunately, in this circumstance, Zokar and Tally have disadvantage.
Okay, well, that's the first one.
Is this
You know,
a
when you
charm?
say that after I've rolled the crit in the first position,
I'm sorry.
annoys me greatly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I failed the second one. I made the first one. Thanks a lot.
Okay. All right.
I need to explain how much I don't like you.
Well, actually, remarkably, let's see. Zokar still succeeds, actually. So it is just Tally on the fail.
Great.
You are frightened for 1 minute, having disadvantage while this creature is in your line of sight. And everyone else has become immune to this ability should it come up again.
Oh,
Do I get to make saves?
You only after you break line of sight.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Figure it out.
And that will bring us to Azure.
oh boy. Let's see, how far away is she? Okay, so I'm gonna do my new thing. She has to make a. Oh, hang on, what was it? Bonus action. It's insightful fighting. So I make an insight check and have to contest it to her deception check.
Okay. And does it have any language regarding charm effects, or is it just a straight unique ability of its own?
It's just a whole unique ability on its own.
Okay.
He's mad insightful, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 19.
So nothing happens.
Yep.
It's less insightful than you might think.
Oh, shoot. And then I will pull out my crossbow and shoot at her.
Okay.
He didn't study crazy doll psychology.
Yeah.
This is true. I'm pretty freaked out right now. And that is Zokar. Oh, okay, cool. So I have sneak attack on this.
Yep.
So I will fire.
Oh,
That'll do it.
that will indeed do the trick.
Do an extra d6 of damage because Sophie is within 30 feet.
Oh.
Poison.
All right. And then an extra d6.
A poison damage.
Doubled.
Okay, so let's see
Oops, did that
here.
go through. I figured out how to do the crit, so that should be the right number.
Okay. Oh, awesome. That's nice. Okay, so 10, 15, so 25 is...
And I rolled a 1 on the other dice.
Gotcha. Okay, so sorry, 25 is going to be 12 damage as you watch your bolt streak through her slightly ephemeral form, and you watch the form sort of shred a little bit. So it is dealing some damage, but you are...
Nope. It's a magic weapon.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Zokar covered you. Yep. Okay. So yeah, it shreds through. However, you notice that Sophie lets out a meow, and this green poisonous energy coalesces around your bolt midair and seems to pass through this creature unaffected. So the poison damage is immune.
No poison. Okay, good
That's
to know.
fine. And then I will just take a step back into this room.
Okay. Very good. Then comes to Selva's turn. She may repeat, so she's incapacitated presently, and then may repeat the save at the end of turns.
Yes.
Okay.
I will just go ahead and copy and paste this into the other chat.
Let's see here. Oh, God. Nope. Terrible. Terrible. Okay. All right, that is absolutely a fail. So then that takes us on to Tally.
So Tally is going to try. Well, actually, no. Tally's going to go over here and get out of line of sight from that monster.
Okay.
So that means I'm not frightened anymore.
It means that you may repeat the save.
Oh, that's something. That's better.
All right. Yes, you managed to shake it off. Realize, okay, no, it's just it's a ghost, but it's just a little girl, right?
Awesome. Okay, so not frightened anymore, but that's my turn, I assume.
Correct.
Cool. At the end of my turn, I will have Sophie try to grab the doll from Selva.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Make a athletics check for Sophie.
Oh boy, hold on one second. This is the first time she's done anything.
Okay.
She has a. She does not have an athletics stat, but she does have a dex modifier.
It would be strength.
That's much better.
Okay.
I'll take it. So that is going to be this +3, so it's a 15.
Okay. The doll sort of like jerks up out of the way, and Selva's sort of ragdoll body, puppet body sort of flops around and like kicks at Sophie and manages to keep its grasp.
Damn it. Oh well.
All right. Then that brings us to Zokar.
I'm just going to insert an armored fist into this phantasm
Uh-huh.
and shocking grasp it.
Okay.
I click a button for that.
Mm-hmm.
Does an 11 hit?
It does not.
Well, that's upsetting.
All right.
Very
That's my
lame.
turn.
All right. Then that brings us back up to the top with Baratsune again.
Okay. I want to try and cast Mind Sliver
Okay.
on this ghost. Can I see it from where I am, or do I need to move closer?
Yeah, that's reasonable. It's
Okay.
it's a save based thing, right?
Let's just see what happens.
Yes, intelligence save. So yeah, there's no cover to worry about. Okay, let's see here. Come on. Ugh, natural 1.
Okay. Well, she takes 4 points of psychic damage and has a -1d4 from the next saving throw she tries to make.
All right. Well, it's her turn, and she is not a fan of that, as just like this dagger of, sort of psychic energy pierces into her physical form. You can actually sort of see it cut more deeply as the magic is manifested here, and she just screams, "I love you!" And the scream echoes through the whole space. I need Constitution saves from everyone.
Oh,
Even
no.
me?
I'm in
Yes.
the room.
Jeez. This might be it, guys.
Oh god, that
Oh,
sucks.
sure, roll pretty high.
Bye bye.
Okay, let's see here. So, Baratsune, Azure, and Zokar, you each take 10 points of psychic damage.
Oh god.
Tally, you drop to 0 HP.
What? Okay.
That
And
isn't good.
no, it's not good. I also do need Sophie, a save from Sophie.
Oh, hold on. She doesn't make saves.
I'm pretty sure she does.
No, she does. She doesn't have a specific stat for it though.
Right, yeah, it would just be the
It's
Constitution.
just a con modifier.
Yeah.
Yep, hold on. She got a 9.
Ooh, she also drops to 0 HP.
That's fine. She probably disappears.
I was gonna say, does she poof out, or does she is she
That's a darn good question. If it's reduced to 0 HP, it disappears.
Okay, so yeah, she will poof out.
Bye, Sophie. I'll see you later.
All right, that brings us to Azure.
Help!
I can't heal, so I will. Oh no, what happened? I will try that thing again. On her. See
Okay.
if this works. Oh, it worked. It went through this time.
Okay.
Okay, so she has to make an. I have to make an insight check. Oh, not good.
She got an 8, so
Sweet.
now
So
now
for the
she's throwing a temper tantrum, so it's real easy to read her now.
Okay, so for the next minute, I can sneak attack her whenever.
Okay, nice.
So then I will pew pew. Well, just pew.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Woohoo! 18.
good.
Not bad, not bad. All right.
You remembered to take the -1d4 on that check, right? It doesn't matter. It failed.
I was
But
gonna
it's a
say-
saving throw, not a skill check,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
No, the oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. So Mind Sliver is actually still present.
Yes. I just want to make sure that I use it on the next saving throw and not like until the next saving throw that failed.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
I will then take 2 steps back and hope she can't hit me again.
Okay. Well, let's see. Now Selva is going to try and stop cackling maniacally. And will finally succeed. And just like the head is going to sort of wrench to the other side as the sort of the strings go taut again, and she starts sort of like lurching. She doesn't, it's the end of her turn, so she doesn't have any movement yet. But she sort of lurches in the direction of where Tally is. You heard a thump from that other room. And that will bring us to Tally. So I need a death save.
No.
Do I get an attack of opportunity against her?
No, she doesn't actually move. It's the end of her turn, but you can clearly see that there is an intent that she has focused, almost as though she has sensed Tally falling unconscious.
I failed my first death save.
Okay, that is 1 strike, and that'll bring us to Zokar.
Well, if the fist won't work, then I will. Oh, well, is that what I'm going to do? No, I'm going to do something loud and annoying. I'm going to move to there.
Okay.
I am then going to cast. You're going to watch as electrical energy builds from that fist that I had raised, emanates down through the armor, and then pulses out in an explosion, crack of thunder wave.
Ooh.
She needs to make a con save.
Okay, and that she will take her D4 off of. Oh man, hang on. Did we make it negative? No, we didn't make it negative. We made it a 1.
1 is good. She can take 13 points of thunder damage.
Oh.
She can be pushed away from me 10 feet. Also, everything around within this cube of me is exploded out in shards. So much shards.
Yep. The bed goes scattering against that far wall, and all the toys go flying everywhere. The bed almost like flipping up, and as it sort of passes through her, you watch the sort of wispy tendrils of her clothing and the cloak that is now ragged and tattered, and her strange exposed face just sort of dissolve away into wisps and start to like melt down through the floor. I keep trying to click on that, and it's the wrong screen. There we go.
There may be a slight ringing in the rest of the party's ears.
Yeah.
Not mine.
You're awake.
No.
When you wake up, there will be.
And then Selva begins to just sort of like lurch awkwardly down the stairs, puppet style.
Oh no.
And we
I think
will.
she's going to the circle, or the barrier between this realm and the next.
And
The
we
thing we were
will.
waiting for.
We will leave initiative and sort of transition into theater of the mind. What you guys would like to do?
I will rush to Tally and do
Ow.
a cure wounds.
Thank God.
All right.
Oh, I already hit it. I
Yeah.
hate the delay on this. So take 9 HP back. And then I'll just shout at AZ and Bharat Zoom, go!
Yeah,
Did she leave the
I
doll?
chase
She's
after.
going with the doll?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will chase after and try to not let at least Selva out of my sight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll triple move if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because rogues.
After I stand up, I'm resummoning Sophie with a different element.
Okay. See,
She's no-
it's fortuitous.
She's now crackling with lightning.
All right. I like it.
And I'm going to run after the party.
Okay, very good. As you all rush down, Azure and Baratzun probably taking up the lead, the others catching up behind them, following Selva's sort of awkward ambling down the stairs, the doll still sort of like almost tugging her as she still has both hands locked on it, and it seems to be tugging her forward. You are come down both sets of stairs, wind your way through the foyer back towards the kitchen, and then Selva just sort of like is awkwardly bumping against the kitchen door that is barred, which would go into the backyard.
All right, I opened the door. I am wondering if I should prevent Selva from going into the light here.
Yeah. Can she
Um,
like counter magic? Is that a thing wizards can do?
I don't have it, I don't think.
At a higher level.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that is a level 3 spell, not a level 3 character.
Yes.
I don't know magic.
But we could restrain her.
Yeah, I could also like cast sleep or hideous laughter again.
Sleep won't work because she's a half elf.
Mm.
I guess where's the like ghost girl? Can I see her?
You do not see her. She, actually, you were out of the room, but Baratzun can relay the fact that she sort of exploded into wispy fragments, and those fragments sort of melted through the floor.
All right.
I
I
guess
think we
I'll
should
go-
just let Selva keep going and follow her because I don't have a clear
Other than-
indication of where she went.
Yeah, and other than trying to tackle her, I don't know how I could restrain her.
Okay.
I'm not very strong.
Fair enough. Well, as you pull up the bar and swing the door open, Selva continues to sort of lurch out down the wooden back steps. You hear sort of the creaks and groans of the rotted wood as you descend, just about 4 steps down into a thick curtain of fog that has pressed up close to the edge of the house. Azure, you immediately sort of feel the chill that clings to the bottom of your legs and almost seems to be clawing its way up your legs.
No, bad fog.
Before you can faintly poking up through the fog, those of you, well, there is a light source with you as well, that lends this sort of strange glow to the vicinity. You can see some ways ahead the iron prongs of a cemetery fence and an archway of stone set into the graveyard ahead of you.
Right, I'm going to pursue and try to keep up with her, but maintain a respectable distance because I don't have very many hit points.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're all kind of hurting right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you watch Selva proceed, she meanders along a path between the sort of fence posts and steps into the graveyard proper, and then sort of stumbles her way towards this great stone arch that dominates the center of the graveyard, and veers off to the left, and then just sort of collapses near the left side of this archway, and basically vanishes under the fog.
Okay. I will go up and check on her. Make sure she's still breathing.
Okay. As you sort of come over to her, you just hear this faint sort of echoing with a two-tone element, this sobbing, and she is shaking as she is just hysterically crying, clutching the doll, and you realize as you sort of get down into the fog and have a little closer visibility that she is lying on top of a grave that abuts to the base of this archway.
Oh.
And you can see engraved into the base of the archway, Sylvine, taken too soon.
I think we found the place.
And as you say that, you all feel this chill run down your spine, and this sort of cracking, ripping sound fills the air as the fog within the graveyard rapidly rushes towards the archway and surges up to fill the space between it. And you hear the sort of crackling, ripping, and see within this curtain of fog that now fills the archway these sort of crackling shards of black lightning that echo through the space.
Uh-oh.
I'm excited about that. That sounds good.
And Lunsey?
I'm not excited at all about that. I'm going to try to hide. I'm going to see if I can find a gravestone to hide behind.
Okay, make a stealth check. Okay. You duck over sort of at the outskirts of the graveyard where some of the, one of the topiaries or what have you has grown up near the fence and managed to tuck behind that. Now that the graveyard has been cleared, you can see the base of this archway, and there are 4 graves set about it, basically abutting either side of the, so there are 2 on the left abutting the column and 2 on the right abutting the column. And of course, just the archway itself still filled with this dense fog that has these sort of crackling black piercing through it intermittently.
Good.
Magic people, figure it out.
Yeah, I'd like to determine how much of a threat this crackling fog is going to pose. Should I be concerned for my life, or is this just the expected outcome of traversing to another plane?
I would say, just offhand, with you being an arcane individual with Gith background, obviously, you recognize that portals and tears and veils between the planes can take many forms, and this certainly sort of fits the bill for a crude rip to the Shadowfell.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is totally safe, guys. I think we need to go into the fog, and we'll be right where we want to be.
Insight that.
It is what we would call a Rothkey. It's a crack between planes. We traverse them all the time.
This one is much cruder than the ones that we would typically use, but it should suffice.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Aze, are you afraid of your own shadow?
I'm afraid of nothing.
Well, then after you.
Sure, I'll go first.
I mean, I'm already like walking that way.
Perfect. All right.
All I noticed from my gravestone.
As you step towards this portal, this tear in reality, you look to the side and see Selva still lying there on the grave as two ravens swoop down from the house and perch on top of her body and just watch you expectantly.
Yeah, watch over her. She might need a minute to recover from being possessed. I'm gonna reach down and take the doll. Seems like a good idea, or a
Okay.
terrible one. I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay, it is
That's a
easily
good idea.
it is easily relinquished. And as you step through the portal, I need Azure to make a Constitution save.
Why did I go first?
Gosh darn it.
This is fine. This is fine, guys.
Ooh.
Gosh darn it. I already dragged out all of the characters. I don't know why they're not here.
Ooh,
Spooky, scary.
Oh,
we're on a hex grid.
Yeah. And so as you step through the portal, you find yourselves coming into a strange, eerie space. There is darkness, and yet a sort of faint bluish glow that emanates from the thin mist that clings to the spaces about you. The topography and scenery around you roughly resembles the Chalet Brantifax and its hill that you came from, but this is a more desolate and twisted landscape. There are old, gnarled, leafless trees that cling almost desperately, clawing towards the sky. Rows of haphazard and crooked gravestones that spread out around the vicinity. And at the top of this hill, where you would expect normally to see Chalet Brantifax, instead stands a large mausoleum. The sky above is pitch black, with just these twisted tendrils of blue iridescence that shimmer and twinkle faintly in the distance with no warmth and no true light, just an eerie tapestry upon the sky.
creepy.
Do
I'm
not
going to
like
turn.
this.
I'm going to turn to the materials and in a stern voice be like, "Make sure to order your thoughts and keep them simple and plain. This place can manifest illusion from shadow stuff."
I'm gonna say that's not a problem for me. My thoughts are always simple and plain.
Nothing may happen, but then again, you wouldn't want an errant thought to manifest and wipe us out.
So do we head for the mausoleum?
Yeah, probably. I mean, let's look around this grave because this is her grave. Maybe we don't have to look too far to find what we're seeking here, but
That would be too easy.
yeah, exactly. Let's spend like 30 seconds looking around and then head to the mausoleum.
All right, make a perception check then.
Oh, I can do that. That I'm good at.
At least somebody's
17.
good at it.
Wow.
All right. Callie, as you look around, you notice, obviously, you're looking for gravestones. And
Yeah.
as you are turning your attention to them, you notice that their faces with the names have been scratched clean.
Oh
The
no.
names obliterated. So immediately in your vicinity, you notice that things are indeed not that easy. And for that matter, as you are glancing around, you
Mhm.
notice that in this strange light, there are no clear shadows. There is no direction of singular light. It's just this dim glow that is ever present. And so there's no single source to cast a shadow. And yet Azure somehow has one.
Hmm.
As long as I don't have two, that's fine.
Just Azure?
Correct.
I'll
Brother
point
Bar,
this out to him.
could you perhaps roll time back on these? Did you prepare a spell of mending?
What? No. It took me a second to realize what you're asking, but no, I do not have mending.
Okay, so I think we head to the mausoleum because it doesn't look like any of these graves are obviously anything we're looking for.
Yeah, I agree.
Do we notice that AZ has a shadow, or was that just Tally?
That's just Tally presently, unless
Oh,
he...
I brought it up. I
Mhm.
very bluntly turn to Azure and say, you seem to have a shadow.
That's weird.
Yep. Hey,
Don't
magic
know.
types. Why does he have a shadow when none of the rest of us do?
You there could
This
be
is
many
unlike what I'm used
answers.
to in the wild. In the wild, either everything has a shadow or nothing has a shadow.
I will just look at Azure and I will say, take out your crossbow.
I'll take out the crossbow.
Aim it at your shadow.
I'll aim my crossbow at my shadow.
I'm gonna take a
Azure,
step,
make a wisdom save.
I'm gonna take a step back.
A wisdom save?
No, I'm not.
Nope.
As you pivot around and aim your crossbow at your shadow, it leaps off the ground and grabs at your neck and starts squeezing. You take 6 points of cold damage.
Help.
I don't have a magical weapon, guys.
I can do little against weird shadows.
Is it actually like restraining me, or is it just like?
It squeezes hard and deals that cold damage as you just feel almost as though the blood in your neck has frozen. And then it still holds. It is grappling you, but it is not squeezing. What is your immediate reaction?
I want to try to break out of this grapple.
Okay. Go ahead and
Acrobatics?
take acrobatics if you wish. You manage to sort of like grab at it and sort of like clutch at the fingers and sort of slip your way out as you are tumbling back and forth, and it sort of slowly falls back to the ground and just continues to sort of slide along with you.
Yeah, don't pay too much attention to the shadow.
Okay, I'm about to die.
I'm sorry this
Should we-
has happened to you.
Should we take a breather? I don't know if you can't take a breather here.
This is not place.
We could take a short rest now that we're across. It's the urgency of making sure we didn't lose sight of the ghost has passed,
Mhm.
because we've lost sight of the ghost, but we're presumably where we can find it.
I mean, okay.
I don't like it, but I don't
don't
think
like dying
Zohar
either.
can just heal all of us.
Yeah, I think a short rest before we go towards the mausoleum is probably in order.
Okay.
All agreed?
If
Agreed.
that's gonna happen, sure.
Before anyone starts rolling hit dice for a short rest,
Yeah, no kidding.
I would like for everyone except Azure to make Constitution saves.
Oh God. Utter
I
fail.
will use a inspiration.
Okay.
So hold on. You do another one. So that was mine. It didn't go well. And this is Sophie's. Which of course did great. So the cat's fine. I'm in trouble.
Gotcha. Okay, so Tally and Azure, if you spend any hit dice, you roll it twice and take the worst result.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that's. I thought it was gonna be like you take that in damage or something.
I thought
No,
I was
no,
gonna
no, no.
die. Okay,
No.
short rest time.
Does Tally also now have a shadow?
No, Tally does not have a shadow, but Tally is sort of visibly
Ooh.
tired. There is, you see almost in the span of this hour, the sort of like bags form under the eyes, the sort of hunch to the posture of someone who is overtired.
Okay, I'll roll some hit dice. Oh wait, that won't help you. Well, I rolled an 8 and a 0, but I did it on my iPad. So the first one I get an 8.
Okay.
I'll do the rest over here.
Sorry, should have been.
I'm running both so I can see the map.
Yeah.
Like, you can't roll lower than a 1.
Right.
Okay.
Great, I got a 1.
Okay. Another 1.
Oh, that one's better. I got a 7. I'm at exactly full hit points.
There you go.
I rolled 3 1s.
Oh, wow. Well, the good news is you do take a short rest, so you may recharge anything that's applicable.
Sophie is still around because she currently manifests for 2 hours. And the short rest is 1 hour.
Nice.
Which is good because I only get her back on a long rest or using a spell slot.
Yep. So as you are resting in this space, you start to notice more of your surroundings. The strange mist that gets thicker the further away from this graveyard you seem to go. And off in the distance, you can see just sort of the black mass of a forest in the distance. That strange sky that over the course of the hour, you notice almost pivots rotating on an axis, almost like it's right above you, just sort of spinning around. You hear cries, sometimes screams in the distance, far away, echoing across this broken landscape. Nothing comes close enough to disturb you, but it is an unsettling reminder that you are very much not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So when we get back, we're gonna just buy up every single potion we can find.
Yeah, we don't have enough healers.
We're fine.
I'm
Just fine.
considering
I think we should
taking-
requisition them. I don't know why we're paying for them.
I'm considering taking a non-optimal feat that is very much in character to address this healing issue. However, I would still be the only one with healing, so do it.
I mean,
well.
we all get feats next turn, so maybe some of us can become spellcasters.
If we want them.
All right. So, it is up to you what you wish to do now.
To the mausoleum, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
All
My
right.
battle cry of meow.
Right. Meow.
I will be actively investigating on my way up.
Okay.
I will take point, but I will be like looking at rocks or graves or statuary, or like I'm not interacting to the extent that I can, but I am taking note.
Okay.
So I will do something similar investigating, but instead of taking note of the surroundings, I'm specifically looking for any enemies. I have my bow out and I'm in hunter mode.
Okay. I will take perception from Tally and an investigation from Zokar.
I perceive nothing. Well, maybe not. I got an 11.
Okay. There are the unsettling, strange sounds in the distance. And it's hard to ascertain what's normal in this space to you and
Okay.
ascertain how close things might be and what you need to be alert for, because everything seems dangerous. Everything seems like it could be a threat that's closing.
Understood.
Zokar, looking around, you notice as you continue to walk that every single gravestone, grave cover, obelisk has been scratched clean. Whatever symbols or names or epitaphs may have been inscribed here have been chiseled away. And as you come up towards this mausoleum, you notice that it is open. There is a iron gate that just has swung open and sort of creaks back and forth slightly, even though there does not seem to be a breeze.
I will hold it with my mind.
Okay, it stops.
Let's go through the gate.
Oh boy. Okay. Definitely bringing up the rear.
Yeah, I'll be kind of in the middle.
I can see no further. I don't know if I need to like pull out a torch or something.
Yeah.
Have you been able to see your immediate vicinity?
Basically, I'm moving around in a circle of visible area, and I am now at the edge of it, and that circle is not getting expanded as I move.
That's
Same.
all right. Everyone, stop moving, please.
Done.
All right, let's see here. As you
Yeah, the only thing I can't see is inside the mausoleum.
see. Oh. There we go.
There
That
we go.
should have done it. I don't know why. I thought I had done that. But as you get about there, and you are looking into the mausoleum, your torch held up, shining into this space, you see that it does not penetrate past this barrier. There is just darkness in the doorway of the mausoleum. And you hear this sort of ripping, scribbling sound. And you watch the darkness start to claw its way out, this sort of jagged scribble element, almost like a drawing made into three-dimensional, as an arm, and then another clawed arm, and then this sort of twisted scribble face with a great gaping maw of scribbled red set among the black. That's not what I wanted to do. Makes its way out, and I would like for you all to roll those D12 initiatives.
Oh,
While we're doing this, I have a mechanics question.
Absolutely.
Not played a ranger before, but I'll roll this first. Oh, yuck. That'll be a 5.
Okay.
There apparently is a internet dispute over this, having Googled it briefly, whether Hunter's Mark turns a arrow into or weapon into a magical weapon for the purposes of overcoming immunity.
Oh, that is an interesting quandary.
The spell does not state that it does, but it requires concentration. and
Correct.
it's a spell.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a spell. I would say, pardon me. Typically, my ruling is anytime it's Hunter's Mark has to interact with something, it's the same as the weapon. So I kind of see that as them being one grouping. So I'd say if you're making part of it magical, yeah, the whole thing is calling upon magical energy there.
Got it. So a hunter's marked arrow, for instance, would overcome anything that's immune to physical damage. That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I would say so there.
I'm fine with that.
Let's
Good
see,
deal.
Azure
Thank you.
is a 7.
Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. Baratsoon is a 10. And we don't have Selva presently, but okay. All right, and so this creature actually starts us off, the nightmare. Let's see. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, that'll do.
Not a
Like
horse.
a nightmare, like a horse.
No, as in like a child's bad dream.
Ugh.
And
Do you want us to kill a horse?
Of course.
as it manifests from the darkness, just this insane, babbling, cackling laughter interspersed with whispers and curses and strange dialects in many conflicting voices and tones echoes out through the space, and I need the entire party to make wisdom saves.
Not again. Okay, better.
Jeez.
Oof. Oh man, everyone except for Tally is...
Hold on. Sophie may or may not. You can keep
Oh,
going. but
okay, yep.
I have to do it manually, and I don't have her saves memorized yet.
Yeah.
And she actually does have a wisdom save. So she has a decent wisdom save. So she has a better wisdom save than Tally does. Pathetic. But roll the 1. So Sophie failed.
Oof. Okay, so literally everyone except Tally takes 9 psychic damage and are stunned.
Oh, geez.
As just these horrific whispers invade your mind and start to conjure up these images of your own nightmares, the deepest dreams and fears that you have had before.
Well, I just passed out on the ground.
Oh. Let's see here. And so we've got lots of status tokens to put on people.
Great. I'm glad I'm the only one left standing.
Yep.
Nice.
Is your crossbow a heavy crossbow or a light crossbow?
I think it's the light crossbow. It's whatever you gave me. It's a light crossbow.
Okay.
It's your crossbow.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be picking it up off here.
When you come back to life,
Actually, that's probably not mechanically the best thing that I can do.
Where is my unconscious? There we go, unconscious. Poor Tally is stunned as well.
Stun doesn't affect death
That's
saves, right?
No. So stunned is that you are incapacitated, you can't move, speak falteringly, attacks.
You just lose a turn, basically.
Yeah,
right?
you basically lose your turn. Right, and so that was its turn, and it's going to... I keep clicking on the screen in front of me when that's the spectator and not the actual, like, DM thing. All right, so it is going to kind of scoot its way forward so that it is in melee to Baratsoon and Zokar and end its turn. That'll bring us to Baratsoon.
Okay, I'm stunned.
Yep. Let me double check one thing. Stunned. At the end of your turn, you stop being stunned.
Okay,
Oh.
I stopped being stunned.
Yep.
that's not so bad.
And then Azure, your turn.
Roll that 20. Yeah, how do I do this?
Roll a 20. Roll
Nope.
a 20.
That's the opposite of a 20.
Oh no.
Well, not quite, but
Hopefully not the literal opposite.
it's
No.
it's just an 8.
Yep. Okay, so that is 1 strike.
Don't scare me like
Let's
that.
see. And I think after your turn, this is going to use a legendary action. And
I'm no longer stunned.
you are no longer stunned. It's going to take a swipe at Zokar, since Zokar is stunned. And just barely manage it, I think. Does an 18 get Zokar presently?
Quite.
Okay. You take 5 psychic damage. And that brings us to Tally.
Okay. Well, great. So, I don't have much I can do. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on it
Okay.
as a bonus action, and then fire my longbow at it and see if I can hit it. I probably hit it.
Yeah, that'll do.
So I'm also gonna mark it as a favored foe.
Okay.
So that means that I get, this is annoying, I get my longbow plus a d6 plus a d4. So I'll roll the longbow. So that's that 11, and then I'll just roll others together.
Well, we've already got Hunter's Mark up there with 6 damage when you first cast
Okay.
it. So we've got it
Oh.
at least once.
That's odd. Okay, cool. So let me,
17 so far.
and then there's another d4, and that's it. So another 2 from my favorite foe.
Okay, very good. All right, and then end of your turn,
Then-
Sophie
Hold on,
becomes.
no, I'm
oh.
backing up.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right, then that brings us to Zokar.
Oh, and Sophie's unstunned.
Yes.
I'm stunned. So my turn is over and I'm not stunned.
All right. And then back at the top with this creature. Let's see. Right. Then I need. It's going to sort of like wave a claw out, and you watch these claws sort of become long and spindly as they sort of snake their way across the battlefield and caress along the sides of your faces, across your torsos. And I need Baratzun, Zokar, and Tally to make wisdom saves.
I'm nowhere near it.
You are close enough.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Screw
Oh my
you,
goodness.
monster man.
All right, that
20s.
Oh wow.
yeah, that is successes all around.
I just hiss at it.
All of you start to, out of the corner of your eyes, you see your nightmares coming to life as this, these horrific shapes start to conjure next to you, and you raise your weapons to strike at this threat next to you, and then sort of clear your mind and realize that you were about to strike your compatriots that were standing next to you.
Oh no.
My current nightmare that I saw was a life of being a farmer.
Good.
Horrifying.
No
Good.
spices.
No spices. All right. Well, that is a swing and a miss for him. Wasted turn there. Baratzun, your turn.
Okay, I am going to cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp on
Oh.
this square right there.
Okay.
So it needs to make a strength save.
Okay. Let's see here. So.
So what I have just done is there's an earthen hand sprouting out of the ground over here, and it is trying to grab the nightmare.
Okay.
Good
It
plan.
it fails the strength save.
Okay. It looks like 12 points of bludgeoning damage. I don't know why it's rolled twice
I
here.
was gonna say those
6.
must be different instances or something, different types.
Yeah.
Okay. 6
Yeah, it takes
damage.
6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, very good. Any status effects, or it's just bashing
It
it?
is. So on a failed save, it takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage and is restrained for the spell's duration.
Okay, so you watch as this hand grasps at it and sort of rakes, and you expect it to grab and squeeze, but instead it sort of like squeezes through like Play-Doh and fails to grab onto its target, but still deals the expected damage as the creature is immune to being grappled or restrained.
Okay. Cool.
All right. But with the damage that has been unloaded on it, it is failing to hold those wispy elements together quite so well, and there are tendrils and scribbles that are starting to stray off of it, and it is bloodied, scribbled, erased, something along those lines. Disturbed. And that will bring us, well, it's not going to like that, so it's going to respond with a legendary action on you.
Okay.
Oof, that is a 25.
Ew.
Whatever it is, it hits me.
Yeah. Okay, 6 points of psychic damage.
I drop.
Okay.
Damn it.
Whoops. That will bring us to Azure. Another death save then.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay, 1 success now. Leveling the score, as it were. Tally, your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to take a pot shot at it. My longbow. I hit it again.
Oh, yeah.
So that means I get, this time it didn't do the hunter's mark automatically. So I get the longbow. So this is the straight longbow damage, which is max damage. That's good.
Ooh.
And I'm going to do the hunter's mark. I'm going to do the favored foe. And then as a reaction, Sophie's going to impart electricity to another D6.
Okay.
So all that stuff gets added.
All right.
So it's a total of 25.
Yeah. As this glimmering arrow that crackles with lightning and malevolent energy of your vengeful intent on this strike pierces through and impacts into that shadowy form. And how's it going down?
I think that at the point of, it's like a piece of shattering glass. At like the point of impact, it just starts to spider web out and then shatters.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is this sort of screeching, almost like glass rubbing against glass, intermingled with a child screaming as it just shatters into pieces, and all the scribbles just sort of fade and clatter away into the distance and sort of start to sink down into the earth. And the adrenaline sort of fades away. Your senses come back to you. You turn and attend to your allies.
Yeah, I'm going to run forward and try to... I don't have any healing magic, and I don't have any potions, but I'm going to try to do a medicine check on Azure.
I've already healed Azure.
Oh, good. Never mind.
Getting
Also-
up, I can do a medicine check on Barrett soon.
You're probably
Okay.
better at it than I am.
Are you trained in it?
No.
Okay.
I have a
Might
decent bonus, but I'm not trained.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think you did. It's a 10, right?
Yeah, it's a 10. So you do manage to stabilize Baratsun. He has not awoken, is still at the 0 hit points, but no longer in danger as you sort of... there's not really any wounds on... Well, I guess there was physical from back in the chalet. So you sort of bandage up a wound real quickly and put a cool cloth on the head to sort of take away that fever from all the psychic damage.
A little bit of the brain back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've taken no physical damage, Phelan. I've only been hit with psychic and necrotic damage or whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, necrotic has physical manifestations, so there is necrosis on parts of your body that can be tended to. But yeah, mostly psychic.
Good.
It's probably like bleeding from the ear,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, wipe that up, clean them up.
I will physically pick him up and hoist him over one shoulder and say, let's continue. And I will carry him like potatoes.
Okay.
Hey.
We leave no man behind.
Did the shed? I got to do the stereotypical D&D thing. Did the shadow drop anything?
Unfortunately, it did not. But now you can, with light source and dark vision, see into this mausoleum that does have, it seems relatively plain. There are blank, at least what from out here appear to be blank walls and a stone dais. Not even a sarcophagus, but just a raised platform upon which you can see a small arrangement of bones.
I'm going to turn my body such that I'm making Barat Zun easily rummageable, and I'm going to say, someone find the doll on him.
Oh. Yeah, it's right here at his belt, and I'll take it off his belt.
Okay.
Also, while you're
That's-
looking in his belt, does he have any healing potions?
I do not.
Okay, just figured I'd check.
I will be able to heal wounds tomorrow, but the last of my energies is spent. The ghost was clear about what it wanted. Return the doll to its owner and let us be free of this place.
Okay.
What if we instead return the bones to the grave?
I mean,
I mean, are there going to be bones? This is a ghost.
we're in a sarcophagus. We're in not a sarcophagus, a
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
mausoleum. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, let's put the doll in the mausoleum.
As you enter into the space and look around, you can see that at first glance, what had seemed like bare stone walls, just sort of rough carved, are actually covered in tiny, fine scribbles and writing and barely decipherable script all over the interior of this space.
Creepy.
The dais that is raised up that has the full corpse or the full skeleton of a small child laid on top of it has these lines and sigils all across the space.
Are they written in deep speech, draconic, elvish, gith, or common?
Yes,
All of them?
there is. It's more predominant in deep speech, seems to feature prominently, but there are elements of many other languages present.
Okay. What am I getting here? Is it a pizza order? What's going on?
Make a Arcana check.
I know that. I'm aware of those things.
Yeah. The top level that you're picking up on is certainly necromancy, but it ties in elements of other magics. There are almost religious connotations to some of the elements. There are passages scribbled in that read almost like psalms and hymns inscribed into this, and it intermingles elements of illusion and transmutation and conjuration in and amongst the chief theme of necromancy. And
If I can wake up at some point, I'm
I've been
real
carrying you
uncomfortable.
around like a giant sack of potatoes. If you're not going to wake up, I don't know what to tell you.
It's like 1d4 hours, right?
It is, and I just rolled it, and I have bad news.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, let's blow this thing and go home.
And actually, Zokar, with that, you do notice that there is almost a meta level to it. There is the microscopic elements that are ritualistic and whatnot here, but it all sort of on a broader, big picture view, you can see on the wall behind on the top of the dais that these bones are laid upon is a symbol that looks, oh shoot, and here I went onto a different screen. So I do want to sort of draw this on the map. Symbol that looks like, there we go. Yeah, just stay there.
Just making sure I can see inside the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Which I can, so we're good. You better not. Go away, Sophie. Go away.
Shoot. There we go. That's a little bit better. And it's not anything that you recognize with that check and your knowledge and whatnot. It doesn't ring any particular bells because it is relatively crude. It's really just the outline. If there's any more styling to it, then that wouldn't really be discernible from this circumstance. But you notice that shape in this the sort of meta of the drawings.
Do we still have the Raven book on us?
You
It's
do.
in my backpack.
I'll go rummaging through his backpack and maybe see
Thank
if
you.
there's anything like this sigil in the book.
Is that sigil repeated? Is it a single sigil?
Yes, it is. It is large, basically encompassing the full top of the slab.
Where does
Is it-
the... Go ahead.
I was going to say, is it pointed at where we entered and crossed into the Shadowfell?
No, it is lengthwise. So at the T intersection, if you will, is about where the skull is laid, and where the triangle points down to, those are where the feet are laid.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry.
No worries. No, useful clarification. Valid question.
So we've discussed two options. One is that the ghost of this girl has asked, that her doll be returned to her, that she wants to be played with. Or two, we could return her to the other side. Now, the other side is the portal with which we fell to in here, correct? Like I'm remembering that correctly. So I don't know how we would inter her in her grave. Well, her grave is a portal. So I think the thing to try is is returning the doll.
I agree. I think that it clearly wanted to draw us here for a reason.
Now, I will clarify one logistical point of order that may have been misunderstood. The portal that you came through here appeared in an archway, and at the feet of the archway are the 4 graves. So
That's right.
the grave itself is not the portal. The grave abuts the portal.
Beyond that, we don't. The graves have all been scratched out too.
Only on this side,
on
right?
this side. On this side.
Okay.
Because we saw her name on the other grave.
Yeah.
We did. With an
She
epitaph.
did not. I think we need to take her bones and bury them back on the Prime.
Yeah, but the question is, what do we do with this doll?
We bury it with her.
Back on the Prime.
Yeah.
Which solves both of our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
The concern I have is if her bones and all of this sigil work is what is keeping this crack between worlds whole, removing her bones could stop it. It's also possible that she just happens to be buried on a natural crack between worlds. Your world has them, just a bit of bad luck. But it's difficult to know.
Nothing about this seems natural.
I haven't looked around fully yet. I'm going to not gently, but not roughly, set down Barat soon. like so much potatoes. And then I am going to dig and poke around as I can, and then if my prime material companions are willing to do so, I'm going to cast a 10-minute ritual identify
Okay.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
on the sigil work.
Sure. Absolutely.
So investigate check first.
Yes. Yeah. Investigate.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well,
It is a dizzying compilation of strange sigil work and, religious iconography and proselytizing that is just dizzying to try and wrap your head around. This is the magical workings of a mad individual, as far as you can tell.
Huh.
Um,
Be
at-
toyed with.
as you try to make sense of it in a more magical sense rather than a mundane sense, and you start to lay out your ritual and begin incanting, gathering in at that
I
sense.
actually probe with tools.
Oh, okay.
I'm probing at the weave,
Mm,
trying to figure
mhm.
out what's going on.
Fair, fair, fair. So you are finding strange elements. The weave is twisted and unsettled in this space as you are starting to prod your way down deeper. And as you're probably about halfway through, you're starting to get the sense, oh, no. These readings don't make sense if I'm dealing with one weave. And you realize that there are two weaves in this present circumstance. As you delve down deeper and come to the conclusion of your ritual cast to get the proper information, I need a wisdom save.
I was gonna say, I'm talking about the weave like the Forgotten Realms, the weave.
Correct. Yeah.
There's second weave.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a long conversation with Mistra about that.
Okay. You focus in your intentions as now you understand what is going on here to try and parse together the elements of what is going on here. Because in the weave that you are familiar with, there is the necromancy present in this circumstance. Some powerful act of necromancy was done as a catalyst and an energy source to then catalyze that conjuration, that illusion, that transmutation to build a second weave out of shadows.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
as you have that realization and it all sort of clicks together and the spell work makes sense, you have no idea how it was done, but you can see the sort of connecting lines. You just hear over your shoulder, shh, and you're sort of snapped out of your ritual.
Take Barat Zune and go through the archway. Go. Run. Leave me the doll.
Okay.
Run. Do not
Guess
step
me
on
and
any
Tally.
talent.
Me and Tally will lift him up.
Yes, we will. Let's go.
All right. You guys run to the portal. It's misty appearance there. You don't have to move yourselves on roll
we're doing
20. It just makes things sluggish as you run in that direction. You come tumbling through the portal, that sort of cold cling to you as you go tumbling through and back into the graveyard to the site of the whole unkindness of ravens gathered on the fence posts around the graveyard, watching you as dawn is starting to break.
Oh.
Zokar, back in the domains of dread, what are you doing?
You used this girl as a battery, as a magical accumulator, and I appreciate the artistry. But I'm taking the battery with me, and then I'm just going to pick up her bones.
All right, very good. And you sort of...
And I'm moving at double time out of the the space at a move speed of 35 per move.
All right, very good. You go booking it with this armful of bones as you go hurtling towards the portal. It doesn't seem disturbed. There is perhaps a little more lightning in the vicinity as it is crackling through, but you go rushing through the mist and on to the other side, just as the first rays of dawn are starting to break across the forest and hit the very top of the archway, and the mist just dissolves away behind you.
Oh no. Does the portal go away too?
It does.
Oh gosh.
I am going to bring these bones to the ravens with the doll and suggest that if they can point us to shovels, we need to inter this body in
They can point us to shovels.
earth. And then I'm going to turn around and start lightning blasting the crap out of the archway until
Okay.
it falls.
Okay. The one of the ravens sort of flits off to the edge of this garden that composes the backyard, of which this graveyard is just a small portion, to a shed, and sort of vanishes behind it, and then a late middle-aged woman with dark tanned skin and a robe of teal and magenta sort of steps out from behind and opens it up and starts passing out shovels.
Oh, well, hello.
We thank you for everything that you have done here. It is very remarkable to see selfless individuals to go into such a dark place, to risk themselves, and to emerge successful. Be pleased.
It's just our job. Ms. Markov.
I'm going to look through the Book of the Raven now with this understanding of the multi-layered necromantic, like shadow plane sustaining barrier magic that I have at least some inkling of, and see if there's any like layered in hints, or if there's anything in there whatsoever that I wouldn't have known to look for. I'm going to reread it with that bent.
You do notice, as you are reading back through, the original text seems to have been restored. The journal of a woman injured and taken in by Vistani for her convalescence is there in the full account. So it is text that you are familiar with, and as you are thumbing back through it, you notice the indications of, now that you know what to look for, the mention of a particular hilltop at the edge of the Lurkwood, far to the north, where the mists hung heavily, and it was just after this evening spent camped on that hilltop that they crossed into a different sort of landscape, and her entry ends with the approach to a tall black castle.
So she was pulled into the Shadowfell as well.
Seems to be, now that you have been here and you've experienced these mists yourself, that is a reasonable conclusion. And that these Vistani seem to have had the means to traverse those mists intentionally before this gateway even properly existed.
Oh, great. They dragged her to Barovia.
Before Barat Zun wakes up, after we have interred this body and its doll.
And I should also mention there, the archway is somewhat resistant to your blasting, and you sort of turn your attention to assisting in the digging of a proper grave, reestablishing a grave. And as soon as the remains are interred and the first shovel of earth is thrown back atop them, the archway crumbles almost of its own accord.
Oh, well, that saves some time.
It was clearly structurally weakened by my blast.
Indeed.
You loosened it.
Yeah.
Before Barat Zun wakes up, while we're in the process of digging the hole, I would say, we could bury Bharat soon. It's a very funny prank where I come from.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, he'll
Is
be
it-
fine.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. No.
I have to agree.
No.
How's Selva looking, by the way? While we're
Selva seems to have collected herself enough that or perhaps the ravens took their humanoid forms to usher her over, and she's just sort of sitting with a big shawl wrapped around her on the back steps, sort of watching you all.
I'll go give her like a pat on the shoulder, be like, "It's okay. You don't have to say anything for right now. Just take your time. Just take some time to yourself for a bit.
She nods appreciatively.
We'll be over here. Let us know if you need anything."
Selva, do you think it would be funny if we buried Bharat soon? He'll be fine. We'll put an air hole in with a reed.
No, you're not.
She gives you a look that I don't even have to describe because you know it perfectly.
So then when Bharat Zun does wake up, I'm going to be like, they wouldn't let me bury you.
I am pleased to know that you're the only one among us who finds such things funny.
It must have been some time since your crash. This place is changing you.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, with that, you are free to collect your trappings, as it were, and make make your return back to the annex, and thus onwards to Candlekeep.
So after the, we're getting ready to go, I will recast Tensor's floating disc and get the gold-plated harp moving again.
Look good in the office.
Probably actually, the first night, prepare it as a spell so it doesn't take 10 minutes to do every hour. But we're hauling this baby all the way back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good. Your journey back to Mirabar through the Lurkwood is uneventful. The strange raven folk bid you farewell and wish you safe travels, and request most respectfully that we thank you for your help, and you have proven yourselves to be good individuals, but make sure that no one else is aware of our presence here. Our work continues and is very important. Be pleased.
You're welcome, and thank you.
So you return through the forest, finding on your trek back that though obviously such wounds do not heal overnight with the necrosis, the fog is absent on your journey back. And you make your way to back to the annex, where Kazrin is almost waiting expectantly, sort of like tapping her foot on the deck of the annex. Well, certainly took you long enough. Come on back up. I gotta send you home before I be moving on.
Okay. Where are you headed off to next?
Well, that's a bit up for discussion. Mainly might be where the winds be taking me.
I'm glad the university affords you such freedom of choosing your research area with freedom.
Oh, well, they tried to make me work from the office, and that did not go well for them.
She works remotely now.
Don't we all?
And so with that, she leads you back below decks into the annex proper and opens the door for you and ushers you back through into the spice cabinet of the Candlekeep kitchens and returns you back from whence you came. And that will conclude this as we move into some level 3 up downtime. If you guys have things that you should wish to accomplish in your level up and experience of your downtime?
How much downtime?
The typical 10-day you have after a successful assignment.
Then I will complete the magical item I've been working on and will present it to Selva when she is next here.
Oh,
Superb.
I meant to say this earlier. I would like to retrieve a few raven feathers before we leave the
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent idea.
chateau.
Absolutely.
Because
Fully.
I should have enough magical components to cast the improved Find Familiar spell.
Ooh. Yes.
Ooh, we're all gonna have pets.
Exciting,
I
exciting.
hope that Sophie and your familiar can be friends.
I'm not familiar with the improved Find Familiar spell.
It is my personal homebrew. I offer it as an alternative to Find Familiar. It is a different way to cast it as a ritual, which given our runtime where we're at, let's see, I guess we'll circle back. We'll see. This might be a one-on-one thing I do with Baratzun and record it later, depending on where we're at for runtime when all is said and done. And actually, I guess I should say it's been about an hour and a half. Do we want to take a quick break before we go into
We
downtime?
can.
That'd be
Break
great.
would be good.
Okay, perfect. So we will remember breaks are important, whether you're online, in person. Give people brain break, bio break, stretch break. It's all good. So we will be back in about 5 minutes. right, welcome back. We're back from break. Remember, it's an important time. It's valuable. As the party has returned from their adventure solving the Book of the Raven and now have some span of downtime to look forward to. So, aside from Barzun, we'll circle back on that. Is there anyone else who wishes to go first?
Okay.
What are we
So-
allowed to do?
Second.
I'll link it to you in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, can you link it to me as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is more just like a meta thing for me. That I'm gonna spend the last like few weeks just looking over like elven archery books.
Oh,
Like this is different kind of skills you can use with the ranged weapons, and like these are famous archers from the Forgotten Realms. And here's like how they learned all their skills.
excellent.
And then as we level up, I'm gonna take the elven accuracy feat.
Ooh,
Nice.
I love it. I love it.
So I'm gonna have super advantage on everything.
Jesus.
That's what the people want.
Heck yes.
So I probably have like a dummy set up out back, and I
Uh-huh.
try to do like trick shots.
Yeah.
I've linked it.
So I get to increase my Dex, Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma by 1. I'm increasing my Dexterity,
Nice.
and whenever I have advantage on an attack roll using Dex, Wisdom, or Charisma, I can reroll one of those dice,
Jesus.
and I can take a bonus action to aim to gain advantage.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm just basically never going to miss again.
That's what the
Knock on wood.
people want.
I get 3 chances to hit.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All
Um,
right.
That's all I really wanted.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that is absolutely an exciting development for Azure and culmination of successful study and a perfect example, frankly, of the ways in which Candlekeep is not just for the scholars. It, history can be the guide to many things.
Just so we're clear, we are leveling up, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm
Also,
not.
along the same lines, we're leveling up. We've also presumably been paid at some point.
That is true. I'm gonna say 100 gold apiece.
I will gladly take that.
I also would like to see if we can get some healing potions.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I would say that
I
I
can
feel like
brew
we
them.
could
but
requisition some.
I can brew them. I just don't have the time.
right. I would say that given your capabilities of brewing them and your ability to sort of oversee that, and the Candlekeep supporting you, you can purchase healing potions at half market price.
Ooh.
Gladly pay for discount healing potions if I have to make healing potions later. Like if it's a swap out, I will gladly do that.
Right. Yeah.
You-
No, it's the fact that you know how to make them, and Candlekeep is sponsoring your efforts, so other people are doing the brewing for you, so you're really just sort of covering materials cost and that sort of thing.
It's like we can spend like our downtime going gathering like these supplies for the alchemist or something.
Hmm.
Okay. Is there a limit to how many potions we can buy?
I mean, how much money do you have?
I
Right.
have a lot of gold right now.
Why do you have so much money?
I haven't spent on anything yet.
I guess I haven't either, but
I would say, unless the party has special means of carry, if you've got a bag of holding being developed or what have you, then really it's not practical to carry more than 5 potions on your person.
Okay, that's reasonable. I'll let someone else go now.
Okay, very good. So that will. Okay. So yeah, who would like to go next with their downtime activities?
well, sure. My as a greedy cat who likes shiny things, first off, I leveled I did an ability score improvement and not a feat. Sorry, I'm boring.
Hey, it's totally valid.
I also had 2 ability scores at odd numbers, so I now have a dex of 20 and a wisdom of 18, so that makes me happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
That's really good.
So during my downtime, how much downtime do we have?
It's 10 days,
10 days.
a week.
I would like to do the trying to buy magic items kind of downtime.
Oh, okay, very good.
I was thinking that as well.
All right, is there anything in particular that you are in the market for?
Well, that's an interesting question. So the answer is I would love something that would, even if pretty weak, make my bow shots magical without having to cast Hunter's Mark. So even if it's a low-level magical bow,
Mm-hmm.
that would be good.
Okay.
Also, because I'm a ranger and I can't use much in the way of armor, anything that would be protective would be good.
Okay.
Really just sort of generically shopping around what's for sale and what's for swap meet in the taverns of Candlekeep while I'm drunkenly carousing.
Okay.
Not carousing in the downtime activity, carousing as in roleplay.
Yes. Okay, let's see here. So, yeah, it will require 100 gold pieces to even find some sellers.
So this is odd. I don't understand how this works. So I have to pay to find things to pay for?
You gotta, rub elbows with the right kind of crowd, the very rich crowd, and pay to make inquiries and that sort of thing. I would say, actually, though, along a similar vein of you're working with, Candlekeep, and they have a lot of information, you get a 50% discount because they can already point you into the correct directions, so you just need to rub elbows with those people that you've been pointed to.
Got it. So before I do this, I want to maybe a little bit of metagaming, but my gold stock isn't that enormous. I'm wondering if it would make more sense for me to, in fact, just buy better normal medium armor and not worry about this.
That is possible.
I am slightly poor. I don't know why. I don't know why Azure has so much money. But I mean, not poor. I have 370 gold pieces, but that's still only 370 gold pieces.
Yeah.
I have like 400, so it's not that much more than you.
Okay. So let me look for 1 second at the regular. I assume anything in the regular PHB we can find in Candlekeep.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me look at that for a second before I make a decision, and someone else can go ahead.
Okay. Then that leaves us with Jokar for the moment.
I spend the week tinkering in my workshop, securing the blood that I secured. I begin to infuse the last remaining energies into this tiny glass receptacle, reshaping and resizing it, changing the script into a beautiful elven script, really making it into as much a work of art as I possibly can. There's just a hint of electricity. This small glass vial on a bit of mithril chain that is complete, and I pay the rest of the gold that I need to pay to complete that, and that's what I do. I also took the chef feat. It's not exactly optimal for what I'm building towards, but I think it's optimal for what I've character built towards, and the will provide us with additional short rest healing as well as some temp hit points as needed with special treats, special snacks.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Always be hors d'oeuvres, and now the hors d'oeuvres have mechanical game benefit.
Excellent. A good little nosh. All right.
I love this idea.
Excellent. Well, that is indeed a busy and productive week for Zokar. Lots of time spent in the workshop, and we will, of course, follow up with that when Hannah rejoins us at the start of next session. Circling back, do we have resolution on Tally's activities?
Very, very close to having resolution, and
Of
we
course.
will in like 30 more seconds. Hold on here. I'm just trying to see what it would cost.
It's an uncommon Bloodwell vial, so she's going to be very happy with me, even if I stole her blood.
I want some magic items.
As I continue to have downtime, I will continue to kit the party out.
I appreciate that.
I had to make a choice about who was first.
So, a +1 magic weapon is only uncommon.
Correct.
So it's reasonable. What is an uncommon cost?
An uncommon cost could be 600 and down.
Got it. So it's possible I can afford it. I think I should wait and try to find this when I have a little bit more money. So I am instead going to buy myself a couple of healing potions at our reduced rate.
Okay.
And other than that, I'm going to, instead of searching for a magic item, I'm going to use my downtime to, carouse.
Ooh, exciting,
Do
exciting.
cat stuff, knock things off of tables.
Who are what sort of crowd, or I should say, what city and what sort of crowd are you carousing with?
Well, I'm going to carouse here.
Okay,
I'm not going to leave the town.
fair.
I feel like Tally is kind of known to be the life of the Candlekeep Tavern. There's not that much in Candlekeep for carousing, but I'm clearly the drunken, entertaining kitty cat.
All right.
And
So,
so I don't know what class the average tavern in. I don't know how many taverns there are in Candlekeep. Probably not that many.
there is just one. There is the Hearth, but it caters to a very mingled clientele, given the sort of open door policy of Candlekeep of, well, as long as you bring a book, you're welcome. So it draws in all manner. So basically, it's a question of, do you want to spend 10 gold pieces or 50 gold pieces?
Well, I think 50 is fine.
Okay, very good. Then in that case, if you could go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Hold on. I minimize that window. Wow. Okay.
Woof. Okay. It is a uproariously, hilariously raucous week for you. Every single evening spent down at the hearth, mingling and just driving up a storm of activity and revelry, as you are indeed the life of the party, much to the locals' chagrin, but the visitors love you. And in fact, you do rub elbows with some very impressive folk. You and I will save this. These are to be banked for future use. Put some agency back in the player's hands. You have made a sort of lower class connection in Waterdeep. You have made a merchant connection in Neverwinter. And you have made a very wealthy contact in Silvery Moon.
Cool. That's exciting. That might come in handy.
Indeed.
So I'll do that. I spent 50 gold pieces on that, and then I will spend an additional 75 gold pieces on 3 potions of healing.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. All right. And then last but certainly not least, we come to Baratsune. Aside from the ritual, is there anything else that you have in mind for your downtime? Because that'll really just be an evening.
Okay. I want to try and find a profitable way to turn this harp into resources.
Okay, very good.
I'm certainly willing to just sell it, but if I can find, a collector of antiquities that has something of great value and is more portable, I'm also willing to trade.
Okay, very good. Then I would like for you to make, I will say it is your choice on a history or a persuasion check.
I am definitely going to go with history.
Okay, 17. So, in the course of your investigations and relying on sort of the knowledge of the trade and whatnot, you do find yourself drawn to Waterdeep as the most likely place where something of this caliber and this old storied element is most likely to be traded in. You'll find someone there. So you make the relatively lengthy journey down to Waterdeep by boat, as it is the quickest way to go, and there are occasionally, sea routes that pass by Candlekeep, or from Candlekeep, in fact. And so you find yourself in Waterdeep and searching around, and after, again, going on your information as a scholar and looking at people of repute and whatnot, you are directed to a shop called Hawks and Lion. HAWX and Lion. And it is in the, oh gosh, I'm forgetting my wards of Waterdeep now. I believe it's in the dock
How
ward.
dare you?
I'm going to say that it's in the dock ward, which is a rather rundown portion of Waterdeep. It's a little rough and tumble, and so you not being very familiar with prime material cities, do not know this when you are instructed in that direction. And as you're sort of making your way into this part of town, you're getting a little dubious that there would be an illustrious harp shop in this vicinity. But sure enough, you follow the instructions, and they're tucked in between two row houses in very dilapidated condition is this once majestic, nicely gilded storefront that has clearly seen better days. The sort of lead-lined glass windows are very sort of thick and grimy. They have the sort of rings on them as the glass is sort of sagged and bulged. And as you approach, you can see above the door a sign that reads Hawks and Lion with a stylized carving, long faded and discolorated. The paint has faded away, depicting a hawk and a lion reared up, sort of their backs to each other. And as you come inside, the door bell rings and sort of clatters with this sort of jangly sort of rattling. It's not even really a proper bell anymore. And you come into this sort of dingy interior, and sure enough, there are several harps laid about in very good condition. The shop is dingy and run down, but the harps themselves are beautiful, and there is like a writing desk off to one side, behind which there is this very elderly elf, long sort of graying hair, little half-moon spectacles all the way down to like the tip of her nose as she seems to be taking some notes in her ledger, and sort of looks up as you come in and then just goes back down to the ledger.
Good afternoon. I understand that you might be an expert on antique musical instruments, and might have an interest in a peculiar artifact that I've brought with me. And I probably am using a card at this point to save the spell slots.
That's true.
Bring in the harp if she does not object.
Oh, yes, well, bring it on in. Let's have a little look-see. And, she'll gesture, and you get it carded, loaded in, so to speak. The door is large and wide, probably to accommodate such things. And, she sort of pushes the spectacles up the bridge of her nose. That is quite a remarkable find. Where exactly is it you said that you came across such an element?
It was in an abandoned chateau to the far north, uh, near a, or perhaps having some connection to the Shadowfell.
Ah,
But I
that
could not say for sure if it was, from there or merely somehow touched by it.
interesting. So an adventuring sort then? That would explain the discoloration and the sad disposition of the arch. And what exactly is it that you do in your adventures?
We tend to uh, service the needs of the School of Candlekeep, or the Library of Candlekeep. We are scholars as much as we are adventurers, but our tasks is to ensure that any disturbances to the the research and the quiet lives of the scholars is dealt with.
Interesting. And what is it exactly that you might think of your particular employers?
Uh, let's say I am uh, generally impressed by their their focus on scholarship, and their intentions seem to be well aligned to that. Though they don't seem to have a uh, we seem to be the ones that are doing all of the dirty work, so to speak.
Yeah, indeed, that can be the way of scholarly folk, those that keep to themselves and hoard too many precious things. They tend to get lazy like that, not to be appreciated by the masses. Well, 'tis a pity, I suppose. So you're looking to part with this then?
Yes, I thought that it's a bit cumbersome to take with us.
Hmm, very fair. Well then, this is a Sturmicon, and, well, he's been dead since before I was born, so that's quite an accomplishment. For them to have collected this, as I said, the disposition of it is a bit off. It's been soured by its proximity to unpleasant magics. These woods are sensitive to these sort of things. It would take a fair bit of restoration, but I could certainly do it. If you're willing to part with it, given all the work I would have to do on it, 2,000 gold.
I find that most agreeable. I am uh, I'd be happy to do business with you.
Very well. Then let me step into the back and make the necessary arrangements.
2,000 gold?
Well, he promised a quarter share to someone, I believe, or half share. I don't remember what the share was. We can check the tapes.
And so she disappears into the back for a span of time. Is there anything that you do while she's gone, or you just sort of wait?
I'll look around at the other merchandise to, see if there's anything unusual that juts out to me.
Sure.
Certainly I would not expect a store that appears to be, run down and in a seedier part of town to have 2,000 gold on hand. So I might My guard is going to be up.
Okay. Make a investigation check then.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. 25. All right. So she's gone for a little span of time, giving you ample opportunity to stroll around the shop and, glance at various things. These are beautiful harps in all manner of sizes, of different stylings and designs. And as you are sort of strolling around, your eye is caught by a few interesting things. One, you notice the strength of the locks on the door through which you've came are very impressive. There are 3 of them, and 2 of them have like a full sort of bar element that then locks into place. You also notice that though it is cleverly concealed with the architecture, the harps taking up space, and the way that the drapes and there are mirrors utilized to sort of expand the sensation, you realize that this shop front really doesn't account for enough space as you might expect. It is a good optical illusion to make you think that this shop takes up, 3/4 of the first story, when in reality it's taking up maybe a third of the first story.
Okay.
You also, lastly, with that very good check, notice as you're sort of walking around and you happen to catch the right angle that stuck into the, sort of behind the desk, there is a crossbow that is like slid in and easily accessible. By the leg of the desk, easily pulled out, is a wand of a just ever so slightly different wood that you catch notice of it. And then stuck into the corner of the desk at the front, where you have to walk into the shop to actually catch sight of it, is this golden pin in the shape of a harp.
I have my personal suspicions as to what that is. Do I, as Bart Zun, have any clue what that might signify?
You may make history or insight.
I will make a history check.
TLD.
All right.
RJ was right on the money with the TLDR. You have found, presumably from the looks of it, a very well-ranked member of the Harpers, a underground organization that makes it their mission to pursue freedom, overthrow tyrants, and ensure the power of the people. They make their way in quiet, subtle places, sometimes, or I should say sometimes subtly, sometimes by hiding in plain sight. They are popularly served by bards and other carriers of tales and merriment, and people who are eagerly welcomed into all manner of places make very good recruits.
And a Githyanki from a slaving race stands before them.
Yep.
Well, I don't have a, I too have taken down tyrants that once held my people in bondage.
This is true. This is true.
One time there was a librarian who was really insistent that you return that book that you were still working with. Showed her.
But with those observations, she does return. It's probably been about 5 minutes. And she comes bearing a pouch and a cloth element. This sort of cloth wrapped object. And she sets them on the table and slides them across to you. I trust that you'll find this well in order for your necessary affairs.
I uh, I trust that I will as well, and I will take both items. I try and figure out what she's just given me.
Do you just sort of surreptitiously try to do that, or you just straight up open it up and examine what you've been given?
Yeah, I mean, like if one of them's clearly a pouch full of money, I'm not so crass as to count the money in front of her, but she gave me two things, and I'm curious what the other one is.
As you sort of pick them up and take them, the small pouch rattles slightly. It's more of a clattering, rather than the jingling of coin. And then the wrapped object is a small, hard loaf. And as you sort of flip open the cloth, you find that it is a golden trade bar.
I don't. What is a golden trade bar?
Think like bars of gold in like, a bank deposit.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so like, cool. Excellent. And the pouch that rattles. Now I'm curious enough to open that up and see what's in there.
It is a small assortment of, from the looks of it, diamonds.
Okay. Beautiful. Everything. It has been an absolute pleasure to do business with you. And as you might, I will certainly keep you in mind should we find any other historically relevant pieces that you might be interested in. And I will, give her my card or whatever and say if you should ever have needs that we at the college could help you, any mysteries that you need solved or research that you need performed, don't hesitate to call upon us.
Okay, roll. Are you just making conversation, or is there an angle here? Are you trying to make some sort of offer?
I mean, I know who she is and who she kind of works for, so I'm basically saying, look, if your organization needs the help of a group of adventurers, come talk to me.
All right, make a persuasion check then.
I'm gonna re-roll that one too.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oof.
All right.
Oof.
This is why we have faces
Yep.
instead of wizards.
Yeah.
Well, I bungled that.
Yep. She just takes your card and, just slides it under, into a drawer in the desk without even looking at it as she passes it down. I'll look forward to if you bring in anything else of interest.
Okay. Cool. I'll head back and regroup with the party.
Okay, very good. And you easily return back to Candlekeep with your spoils.
Yes.
Which, for the record-keeping purposes, it is a golden trade bar worth 500 and then 1,500 of diamonds.
Okay.
All right, very good. And then you turn your attentions to ritual casting, which, if you're amenable to it, I think that we will do one-on-one and record that, and we will add that in here because I want to do an overlay to zoom in on just, the two of us on screen. So I think that'll be a cool thing.
Yeah, whenever you want to do it.
All right, very good. We will touch base on that. And from the audience's perspective, we will seamlessly transition into Baratzoon and some ritual casting. Okay, so here we are. Belated announcement. Happy birthday at the time of this filming to Trigger. Yay! And as we, I guess, kind of dive into accidental birthday present, as Baratzoon in this span of downtime prepares to conjure a familiar, to create a familiar. As you have found this less used ritual within the archives of Candlekeep. Shout out to the audience. This is loosely inspired by Dale Kingsmill, her alternative take on familiars. So if you're not familiar with her, go look her up. Monarch's Factory on YouTube. She's amazing, and she does all sorts of cool, vague and evocative things with D&D. So I took a lot of inspiration from her in this particular interpretation of the familiar ritual. So,
I'm excited.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm hyped. So to that end, Baratsune, you know that there are several steps to this ritual that will lay out the mechanics of it, the actual fundamentals of it, and then it will involve a process of forging and strengthening a piece of your own essence, of your own soul, to manifest this familiar that has a deep connection to you and who you are. And so as you are preparing this ritual, you know that it requires an element of tension and strife. And so it's up to the caster what form this takes, but all casters sort of have their own preference as they undergo this, of something that will put them in a state of exertion. So some will go for making the room very hot. You know, there will be a roaring fire, or, you know, they will be somewhere that is very cold, or somewhere, you know, they'll fill the room with smoke, something that creates a strenuous atmosphere. So what would Baratsune deem as a fitting trial for this?
I think a room filling with smoke seems appropriate. I would have a brazier that is burning hot and pungent fumes in a room that it's so thick that you can barely see your hand in front of your face.
Very good. I like it. Are there any particular incenses or woods or elements that would be used in this brazier?
Probably mostly stuff that's just going to create a volume of smoke, but I think for flavor, maybe like cherry wood to give it just the fruity aftertaste of high octane magic.
All right, I like it. Very good. So you set out the brazier, fill it with the wood and coals and incense as is necessary, and ignite at the center as the room begins to fill with smoke, growing in heat and intensity, and you begin laying into the ritual in earnest. The next step is to inscribe a large circle that will contain the magics and form a safe space for your spirit to manifest and be changed and strengthened in this way, and be pulled away from you in a vulnerable state. And around the perimeter of this circle, there are several points as pertain to the hours of magical prominence of the day, a concept that is very familiar to you as a chronomancer. You know that at certain precise hours of the day, and in fact, it is a comfort to you in Candlekeep, as the bells of the day mark these specific times. There is at 5 a.m. foredawn, then at 8, mornbright, at 10, mid-morn, at 11, high morn, at noon, obviously, water clock at 2 p.m., eventide at 5 p.m., twilight at 6 p.m., and candleglass at 9.
Okay. Am I inscribing these with a just the general purpose of having a clock in front of me, or am I placing some sort of emphasis on one of these hours in particular?
So, you have brought to this ritual 3 components of animal matter to give this familiar form. If I recall correctly, those consist of robin's feathers, robin's eggs, and raven feathers. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Then, as part of this ritual, you will be placing those 3 components at particular hours of your choosing.
Okay. I would be placing the eggshells at the pre-morn location, as this is
Okay.
the sort of beginning of the day. New life hatches from the eggs. I will put the robin feather at, let's say, 11.
Okay. At
And
the hour of high morn.
high morn. And then the raven feather, the bird of the night, at evening. I didn't catch the all of the hours, but let's say somewhere around 10 p.m. Maybe,
Okay.
actually, let's go with midnight. Midnight seems appropriate for ravens.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Now, you do know that, surprisingly, midnight is not often an hour of magical prominence, but you could make that particular decision at this moment.
I'll stick with what I know. So I'll go with whatever the latest magical hour of renown.
Yes, that would be candle glass at the hour of 9 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, very good, very good. So as you lay these components out with purpose in your mind as to the intention of those hours and the correlations that they bear to your components, the room continues to fill with smoke, and you find yourself getting lost in the trance of repeating the verbal components to this spell, calling upon your spirit, calling upon the magical essence of the hours and the components to come together into a form that suits you and is bonded to you. And as the smoke closes in, filling your lungs with that burning, acrid, fruity sensation, everything begins to go black. You find yourself waking in your room in Candlekeep. You are rising from your bed, as you would on any typical morning. You can see the sunlight of early dawn streaking through the sort of frosted glass windows. What do you do?
So I've cast the ritual and have gone black and woken up in my bed. So I will definitely try and determine what has happened between the last thing I remember and this moment now.
Fair enough. So as you sort of think on that and you look around your room and get up, you notice that pinned to your door looks like there's a note. And as you go over and read it, it's just... there are definitely lines and intention, but it just seems like gibberish symbols.
Here's where I wish I had comprehend languages. I have that as a ritual, but I don't feel like wasting 10 minutes. I'm going to look around the room for anything else that might be out of the ordinary. The note is pinned to my door on the inside?
Correct.
Interesting. So I guess the first thing that I'm going to investigate is see if there's any way that I wrote this note.
Okay.
Does it match my handwriting, or is it something else?
All right. Make a investigation check.
24.
Oh. The handwriting does not look like your own. And it doesn't seem to bear any sort of resemblance. And in fact, you notice that the paper has sort of a flowery odor to it that is not to your taste, not to your liking. And at that moment, there is a knock on the door. Blenebefschnef?
Blenebeshnef?
Blenebefschnef!
I opened the door.
You open the door to see Selva looking at you. Branabush?
I mumble non-committally.
She sort of shakes her head and, gestures past her and turns and starts to hurry away.
Okay. I will like make as if to follow and then like pretend that I've got pressing matters to attend to in my room, maybe getting ready for whatever we're doing for today. And then I will try and look at anything else that is written down to see if I can understand any of it.
Okay.
Have I lost my ability to understand common?
As you look around, easy enough to do. There are lots of reading materials, especially here in your collective sort of common suite, as it were. And you see the titles of a few books have the similar gibberish. You pick up a book and sort of thumb through it, scribbles and strange symbols. You see Azure across the room open his door and come out. Branabush!
Branabush. Okay. Something has gone wrong. Now I will cast a comprehend language as a ritual just to see if I can figure out how to read again.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, as you take the time to do that, your mind tries to focus in on this. And it's a little clouded and strange. I'd like for you to make just a straight up intelligence check.
Well,
okay. So you do your best to focus, and you complete the ritual as best you remember, and you feel something magical take hold. And as you sort of pick up the nearest, written material and sort of look at it, the symbols seem to be shifting. The lines are moving, and every so often a letter that is recognizable, or maybe a word stands out, but the rest of the page sort of blurs around it, and you can never seem to get a whole page into focus at the same time. And you hear Zokar call out to you, Snanarush briefing.
and I will yell out Zokar, and I'll yell in Gith. Can you help me with something?
And he comes over and sort of, leans in the doorframe and looks at you very puzzled. Pranagush speech?
I will try again in Gith. Can you understand me?
He sort of looks at you confused. Brother, Mananush Fernash.
Okay. I will shrug. And go towards the briefing. I'm not sure what has happened, but my ability to speak and read has suffered greatly, which might be a problem for a wizard.
Indeed, indeed. Well, as you follow Zokar towards the briefing, and you see some of the scholars of Candlekeep, nod to you as you pass, or say good morning, presumably, but most of it is lost to you. And then you start to catch more, and you're realizing that they are speaking common. And for some reason, you had just assumed that everything was Gith. And that presence of common had just sort of briefly left your mind. You kind of realize how silly you must have been. And as you start hearing conversations around you in full transparency, the walls start to melt away and smoke closes in around you again. The smoke burns in your lungs, filling and pressing down on you from every direction. The acrid taste that burns inside your lungs intensifies, and you feel not just the heat in your lungs, but on your skin as well, as the smoke around you begins to glow. And you start to see some of the stacks of Candlekeep materialize out of the smoke, foggy and hazy as your vision is heavily obscured. And you start to get your bearings as you see this roaring fire that is starting to burn down the hallway towards you. And with a quick flash, you start to recognize where you are. You know this part of the library. And you know you're at a T intersection as this fire is racing towards you. You know that to the left, there are where Alando's prophecies, the core tenets of what Candlekeep was founded to protect, lie off to the left, recorded on precious parchment, his original hand. And to the right are the shelves where all of your own texts have been published and stored.
And I get the sense that the fire is going to consume everything except that which I can save right now. I book it for Alando's prophecies. I'm not. Nothing I've written has changed the world yet.
Very good. Okay. As you, without hesitation, it seems, quickly turn to your left and go darting down the hallway, tumbling into that holy sacred chamber that so few have even glimpsed the inside of, and just scoop up these long gilded parchments or these long gilded scrolls in your hands, the fire tumbling, roaring over itself behind you, crashing against the door, and suddenly everything goes quiet again, and the smoke closes around, and you are in the dark, murky space again. And you drift there without any sort of sense of gravity. It almost feels like that thought-motivated presence that you once experienced in the astral sea, able to motivate yourself forward in any direction you wish, simply with the power of your mind. But there is this strange, smoky black haze that surrounds you. Out of this haze, a hooded figure seems to glide forward towards you, propelled by that same motive of thought. And it holds in its hand a heavy, black and gold gilded tome with adornments of amethyst around the edges and on the accents. And this voice echoes from out of the hood and yet all around you at all time, in all directions, whispering, yet ever present. But soon, chronomancer, seeker of secrets.
Yeah, you got me.
I bring for you a great secret, powerful, long forgotten secret, even to those who first discovered it. And it holds out this tome. And you see upon it a script that perhaps you speak, I'm not sure, or at least you are familiar with. It is Qualith, the written language of Mind Flayers, engraved across the front of this tome. Secrets to create their mighty nautiloids. Secrets forgotten even to their eldest brain.
Those are powerful secrets indeed. I will make to accept the book and also get a better look at the person holding it to see what lies beneath his hood.
Make a perception check.
Four.
The figure almost seems to sense your intent and recoils. Not recoils, but drifts back deftly as the book is sort of lifted and clutched tighter. Oh no, soon. Secrets must be traded for secrets. For you see, you know something that I desire. I desire the sigil sequence to the Queen's personal teleportation circle.
I am afraid the price of your secrets are too high. There is nothing you could offer me that would be worth that betrayal.
See, this saddens me to hear. Perhaps in time. And that last syllable, time, echoes around you as the figure is swallowed again by the smoke. And that black smoke just roils around you, burning in your lungs. You feel the weight of it catching up to you, the suffocation burning away at you as your lungs fill with soot, or gasping for oxygen as you fall down to your knees. Okay. As this burning sensation brings you to your knees, you see a light start to grow in your chest. This slightly golden, pale iridescence sort of shines out from you. And as its rays shine into the smoke, you see three forms begin to manifest before you. You see a long, spindly body start to form, and then wings unfurl as you see manifest before you a flying snake.
A flying snake?
Next, you see a crest of plumage start to emerge, and then sort of poof out with a sort of disgruntled shake, and then two squat little feet form as a rooster manifests in front of you. And then third, you watch a twist and a swirl of the smoke and a glint of light off beady eyes as a raven materializes. All three of them sort of perch before you, looking up at you expectantly, as you look down and realize that this light that had grown out of your chest is now in your hand, waiting to be given a form.
I see. I will shape it into I assume I have some kind of direction over what I produce here.
You have the three creatures that have presented themselves to you. Of course, details may manifest based on your intent, but one of those three creatures seems suitable to you.
Yes. In that case, the raven is the one that seems truest to me.
Very well. So you take this spark of your soul, this little piece of you, and hold it out to the raven. Flies with its smoky form, perching in your hand as the light is absorbed within its smoky visage, and it starts to become physical and material. You have one last little moment of influence. Is there anything unique or distinguishing about the appearance of this raven that might call to your mind?
When it looks like a normal raven, but when it extends its wings, it has basically a white line at the tips of each wing. So the black fades to white very abruptly.
All right.
But when they're folded up, it is just a normal looking raven.
Good. As its form coalesces, the smoke subsiding around you, the room of the ritual chamber coming back into focus, it sort of hops and looks up at you with a glint of its jade green eyes, complementing the little accent of white underneath its wings as it sort of stretches and becomes accustomed to its vicinity. It looks up at you expectantly, as if waiting perhaps for a name.
I should have prepared a name.
That's fine.
But-
I don't want to put you on the spot necessarily. You certainly have the opportunity to introduce the rest of your party to your familiar at a later point.
I think I'll go with that.
All right.
Give me a minute to think about it.
Absolutely. Take your time. All right. Well, then I suppose we shall sort of go back and join the rest of the party for the conclusion of the adventure. And that is where...
Hi, rest of the party. Sorry I was speaking gibberish if that really happened, if it wasn't a dream.
Very good. Very good. Well, with that, that concludes the Book of the Raven, and we will pick up with our next episode, delving into the party's next assignment. I haven't quite decided how I want to introduce this particular one, so that's why we don't have the cliffhanger here. We have a soft conclusion rather than the cliffhanger of last time. But thank you everyone for joining us. As usual, future or live Brendan will probably jump in soon to say hello, but I was good and I took my notes this time, and I can tell you confidently from the past that our next episode, look for us on August 11th at our usual 8 p.m. Wednesday time, or if you are catching us on YouTube after the fact, look for us on Sundays. Thank you very much, and we will see you around. Hello, live Brendan!